First agenda item, if you would please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. And each month, we also like to share our vision, mission, and core beliefs. And this month, it is the first half of the core beliefs. We believe all students have the ability to learn, are important, and have unique skills to contribute successfully to our world. We believe in a valued, highly qualified, team-oriented staff that cares for, supports, and teaches every student to their full potential every day. We believe that support and teamwork among our school district, families, and communities provide the most effective learning outcomes in and out of the classroom. And we believe in relevant, inclusive, and engaging curriculum that appropriately prepares students for their life endeavors. And the next agenda item is public comments on agenda items. Jessica, do we have anybody signed up to speak?
No.
Okay. And the next agenda item is the students of the month. Mr. Ribbleman.
All right. All right, my first student I'd like to call up is Mayla Yeh. Mayla, you'll come up here with me. All right, I got to put my old man glasses on. You're okay with that, right? All right. Mayla is a second grader from Miss Booer's class. Correct me if I mess anything up there. She is actually our November student of the month. So she wasn't able to be here in November. Mom's pretty busy chasing brother around a little bit, right? Yeah, and in December we missed. In January I got sick, and so here we are. So finally, we get to recognize you, right? So a few things about Mayla. She is, hold back up, I got the, no, hang on. Yeah, it's Kinley and Vanessa Yates' daughter, right? All right. She has some siblings. She has a sister, Madeline, who is in 10th grade, and a brother, Brody, who is in 7th grade. Did they come here with you? Yeah, super supporting. That's good siblings right there. All right. Favorite subject?
Art.
Art? You told me reading.
I've changed since November.
Yeah, all right. Yes, all right. So would you like to read about art? All right. Favorite hobby, you did say, was drawing, right? So in the free time, you like to just draw. I wish I could draw. I'm not very good at it. Favorite food?
Macaroni.
Macaroni. All right. What she likes best? Sorry. What she likes best about Bloomfield is?
That I get to see my friends in school.
She told me Dairy Queen. That's what I like best about Bloomfield. What's your favorite thing to get at Dairy Queen? Everything? Anything? Me too. All right. Okay. All right. Favorite color? Pink. Yes, pink. Favorite movie or TV show?
Moana and Titanic.
Yeah, Moana is the one you told me about. Yep. And then she likes to play softball, right? All right. Good deal. You want to hear what your teacher said about you? All right. Teacher said that Mayla is respectful toward, I heard that, all her classmates and teachers. She always strives to do her best and willingly participates in daily lessons. Good job. All right. So, Mayla, I didn't grab the, are they over here?
I'm sorry, yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're on the cart.
All right, kiddo. I have a plaque here for you. It says Student of the Month. All right. I want to take your picture. Is that all right? If you guys want to come take a picture, you're more than welcome. Give me a big smile, all right? On three. 1, 2, 3. All right, ready? Dad. Congratulations. All right, so my next student of the month month is Bristol Benton. Bristol, come on up here. All right, Bristol is February student month. They couldn't get January here. They'll come in March. They'll have 2 in March. Bristol is a 5th grader from Mrs. Barker's homeroom, but she actually gets to be with all 3 teachers, right? So as they rotate. Bristol is the daughter of Autumn Patton. She has 2 brothers, Dayton, who is 8. Did I get that right? Bryson, who is 9. All right. Favorite subject is science. Yes. Favorite hobby? Playing with her dog. This is my favorite one right here. Favorite food? What kind?
Fugo.
What does fugo mean?
Fire.
Fire. If it doesn't bite back, it's not worth eating, right? Bite back. You gotta bite back. Favorite color? Green. And your favorite movie or TV show is? Lilo. That's a good one. That's a good one. Thing you like best about Bloomfield?
Not like a city.
Yeah, that's what you said. Small town, not real busy, right? Kind of relaxed atmosphere. I agree. Bristol's teacher says about Bristol that she is a very kind and helpful person to other students and respectful toward adults. She always strives to do the right thing. She is very conscientious of her to have her work ready every day. She will also ask how she can make her work better. So always trying to improve, that's an awesome quality right there. Learning is important to her, and she puts the hard work needed to understand the material, right? So it's just about understanding the material. All right, Bristol, I'm going to award you your student of the month plaque. I want to get your pictures. All right. All right. Come on.
All right, so our students of the month for February were sophomores and 8th graders. And our sophomore student of the month is Mr. Bentley Woodfield. Bentley, come on up here, I'm all right. Okay. Bentley, just some of the questions that we have. His favorite food, egg rolls, correct? Yeah, that's it. I'm with you on that. All day. The clubs, teams, programs that Bentley is associated with and attends, Aaron's Purpose and 180 Student Ministry. Okay. His hobbies include bodybuilding, gaming, reading, philosophy, and cooking. All right. Go-to dish to cook. Go-to dish to cook. What you going to cook something? What do you like? Chicken parm. Chicken parm. Favorite subject, English and literature. Why? Because there are no wrong answers, just opinions and interpretations of literature. What literature class do you have right now? Currently, English 11. English 11. All right, very good. What do you like most about Bloomfield Millen High School? The size. I can reach out to teachers easily. They remember me. I remember them. It's not strict, and it's easy to work with them. All right, Billy. Well done, sir. Appreciate it. Here you go, man. All right. Congratulations. Very good. All right. Our next student of the month is our 8th grader, and that is Miss Reagan Evans. Come on up, Reagan. Navigate your way through. All right, so Reagan's favorite food. When I read this, I was like, this is so right. Do you want to tell them or do you want me to tell them? Because I'm happy to do it. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Strawberry rhubarb pie. Now, it's not just anybody's strawberry rhubarb pie. It is her grandma's. But she says for mammals right there. So I am with you. All-time favorite, without a doubt. What clubs, teams, programs, or groups are you involved with? She plays soccer. She's a cheerleader. She participates in Cardinal Song, band, Shred and Fret, and she's a member of Beta and Student Council. Her hobbies include, I like this now. It's very nice. Her mom and I, we were talking about this Thursday down at Huntingburg. She plays the flute in IU's Young Winds program at the Jacob School of Music on Saturdays. I'm only on a couple of dives, but she's 2 dives from getting her certification as a scuba diver. Outstanding. She also attends junior high 180 at Tool. Her favorite subject, want to tell them? Yeah, science. It's like science. You ever seen that movie? Have you heard that song? I mean, I told you it's Look it up. All right. Science is my favorite because Miss Bonner is awesome, and because I plan on pursuing science as a future career option. Well done. That's it. STEM. Ladies in STEM is what we need. What do you like most about Bloomfield Middle and High School? I like that I'm able to participate in a variety of extracurricular activities, and that you are. Well done, Ms. Evans. Congratulations. All right. Get your right one. Your right one. All right. We didn't talk about directing. All right. Okay, go ahead. Did you get a picture, Joe? Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. I think I saw was they blinded me with science. I think is what that is. I want you to do it. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. All right. Very good. Good job. All right. That's what I got. Thank you. Good job, Ray. Congratulations. All right. Students of the month.
Yeah, congratulations to all the students of the month and their families. We appreciate you coming here, and we invite you to stay for the rest of the meeting. But if you would like to leave, we'll pause for just a second.
Lifeguard. Only
We'll continue with the recognitions.
All right, so I've got a few recognitions here. I just want to state something real quick. It's going to appear like I have more to say than Mr. Dean. That is never the case. I've got 2 months worth of the recognitions here, and he's had 1. So keep that in mind, all right? So he's going to try to convince you otherwise. That's not true. If I get a meeting with him and Dr. Lehman, I don't even get 2 or 3 words in. So keep that in mind. All right. So I want to recognize our character trait winners, drawing winners over the last few months here. So this month, our winners were Bo Hardison, Bristol Boer, Candace Riggins, Lexi Balkett, Gibson Miller, and Olivia Hall. For the month of January, the character trait was self-discipline. Our winners were Finley Yake, Rylan Potts, Calvin Babcock, Reggie Townsend, Kat Kahn, Adam Vest, Chip Coons, Arabella Whitfield, Bentley Campbell, and Michaela Ryan. And then in December, I was here, but we always have that one drawing after we have our board meeting. So those winners for Perseverance were Benjamin Sparks, Draven Fields, Wilson Helms, and Emily Miller. So kind of want to recognize them. We have a big drawing. For those of you that don't know, they get tickets all month long for showing whatever that character trait is of the month. This month was fairness. I think I forgot to say that. So anytime they show that, they get a ticket, they bring it to the office, they put it in a bucket. We have a drawing every Friday. We always pick one from the top, E Hall, which grades K through 2, and then 3 through 5, and we get everybody out in the hallways, and we make a big deal out of doing the right thing. So I don't think you can ever go wrong by doing that. I also would like to recognize, Ms. Hill, Ms. Stephanie Hill, and our student council and First Baptist Church here in Bloomfield. They sent us a thank you card because our student council does a monthly food donation. They have a drive. At every grade level takes their turn. This month was second or third grade. Next month is second grade. But everyone just takes their turn. And so they collect, and they do such a great job. We get it to First Baptist Church. They get it to where it needs to go to help needy families. Again, teaching them to volunteer and give is always a good thing too. But they sent us a thank you card. It says, thanks for the donation to our food pantry. We appreciate the community support to help us keep our shelves well stocked. God bless you. So I wanted to share that. Also, Miss Mary Edwards, our preschool teacher. This lady never ceases to amaze me at some of the stuff that she does. But our preschool, she tries to get them involved as much as possible in what we do in the elementary. It's kind of hard because they have an AM, they have a PM, their times are offset, so it makes it difficult. So she likes the fact that we do this character trait program, and I walked in the room the other day and I didn't realize she was doing this, but she's doing her own character trait program. And so it's kind of cool. It's a little bit different than how we do it, but same concept. So I wanted to recognize her for that because I don't think you can start too young. It's always good to start early. Again, reward them for doing the right thing.
Question. The character trait program at the end of the year, can they be included in that, or can they have their own little miniature one?
Probably the little miniature one. It's hard to get because they're A and T, and it's hard to get them whatever time you hit. So yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. We have to talk that over. Yeah, good point. Also, Jason Edwards, I'd like to recognize him, one of our local entrepreneurs. He came and spoke to our fourth graders about entrepreneurship, and I know they enjoyed that. He had a lot of great things to tell them. Mrs. Heaton, Mrs. Barker, and one of our sixth grade students, Mr. Cohen Graves, are helping coach our math bowl team. So our fifth grade. We did not have enough sixth graders show interest, so they weren't able to put a team together for the competition, so we only have a fifth grade team. Cohen really wanted to be part of that, so they just put him in charge. And ever seen Cohen in action, he loves it. He just eats it up. So I know our fifth graders are learning a lot from him as well as the teachers. They're doing a great job. Their competition is April 12th, so I'm hoping that we have a good showing on April 12th. We just had Amanda Gidding from the Indiana State Police come and talk to our fourth and fifth graders about cyberbullying. And again, I think that's important as well because everyone now has a device and we're all on social media. And I think it's great that these kids learn early some of the places you go and some of the things that people can see if you're not careful about what you post and how you post it and what you're sharing with them. So she did a phenomenal job, and I think it's something we're probably going to do yearly. I think it's just a good idea to get that information out there to those kids. And then finally, upcoming events that I wanted to share. Our literacy night for the spring is coming up. Mrs. Dean and Mrs. Lauderdale run that for us. It's a movie night. It's going to be on March 9th from 6 to 8 p.m. in the middle school gym, and they're going to show a movie called Clifford the Big Red Dog. No one knows who that is, do you? I think we all do on that one. So they're going to show that, feed them popcorn and all kinds of stuff. Probably sugar them up and send them home. That's what I do as a grandparent. I don't know if that's okay or not, but that's how it works sometimes. Also, our third grade team is getting ready for their wax museum. If you haven't been to the wax museum, it's on March 1st. I believe it's 6 to 8 as well. But it's really cool. Our third graders learn about a character in history. Everything that they can find out about this character in history, they dress up like that character, and then they station themselves around the gymnasium. You go and you got to step on a button, and then they go into action. Otherwise, they got to stand there still. It's really cool. Some of them have to read it, and some of them, man, they've got it memorized. So I enjoy it every year. It's really neat to watch them do that. And then our preschool kindergarten roundup is next Friday, March 4th. So that'll be an all-day event as well. So just kind of let you guys know what's going on with some of those upcoming events. That's all I have. Do we have any other questions? No? And I will talk to Miss Edwards about that. We might be able to make that work for sure. All right. I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Dean. Remember what I said, long-winded? I got to that pretty quick, I thought. You did.
Just for the February, our highlights, recognitions. First off, I want to recognize our own Miss Julie Huffman. She was recognized as the 2021 Soil and Water Conservation Educator of the Year this past week. So congratulations to Julie. This also coincides with FFA week and all the activities that we had going on. Tomorrow that will conclude with the breakfast. It's Blue and Gold Day, colors of FFA. NJROTC, of course, they had their trip to Stennis Naval Base in Gulfport, Mississippi. They raised over $20,000, and every bit of the trip was paid for. Of course, Stennis, I wasn't aware of this, but until they went down there as part of that is a NASA base, and the other part is Naval Base. They got to spend a day with a boat crew, 20-something, I think, had a live extraction and around, so it's pretty impressive stuff. If you've seen the video around, they were on had the reporter come down, WTWO or WTHI came down and filmed them, so congratulations to Commander Lemons, Chief Holberg, and the cadets. Girls basketball team were, of course, sectional champions. I want to congratulate them, Coach Knapp and the girls on a solid performance there and making it back to the region. Boys basketball, they're gearing up for sectionals. That'll be next week, next Tuesday, actually. They have a game tomorrow night with Bar Reeve. That'll be the last regular season game, and then with Drew Shackmack next Tuesday. And so they'll be getting prepared for that. Had some nice wins. They've had a really solid season this year. We had ASVAB testing for all juniors on February 2nd. The juniors are going to do it again next Thursday as they take the SAT at school day. So that's gear up for that. All right. It'll be a 4-hour adventure right there. On the ASVAB testing, we had some phenomenal off the chart scores, and it's pretty impressive on what they did. We had InvestEd here, which InvestEd is a free service to all students in the state of Indiana, and they had the FAFSA completion event. This coming Saturday will be College Go up at Ivy Tech, and there'll be another opportunity for students if they need to fill out the FAFSA. It's quite helpful, and I took advantage of that myself. Heat in there when the InvestEd was here. That was on February 9th. That's all I got.
All right, thank you. All right, and now to the consent agenda.
Yeah, on our consent agenda, we have our meeting minutes from our past meetings, January 27th, February 17th, and the treasurer's report. Well, is always on the consent agenda. Personnel, field trips, and donations. I want to read these. A lot of these are to the NJROTC that allow them to go on the trip that Mr. Dean talked about. Should I read through these first? Hopefully there's no hard last names here. If I butcher any, I apologize.
Say you just wing it.
Francis Keenan, J.K. Ridley, American Legion Post 196, VFW Post 7117, Tyson Medlock, Jeffrey Schaefer, Ed Jones, Farmers Bank, Gerald Thomas, Romans Warrior Foundation, Jenkins Funeral Home, Joseph Erler, Bloomfield Manufacturing, Robert Weddle, Linda Maddox, Harry Halstead, Alan Ballman, F. Keenan, Dennis Cordes, Stephanie Fernhaber, Judy Post, Doug Sims, Pamela Allen, Brenda Hughes, George Delaire, Willard Porteous Trust, Jeff Hyland, Patricia Byers, Barbara Abrams, James Hobson, Teresa Lasada, Tom Bishop, Harold Backus, Bill Sloan, John Rucker, VFW Post 9627, Brad Post, Barbara Hanauer, Alan Toon, James Richardson, Mary Monroe, S. Dowden, Robert Lamb, Kerry Creek, Bloomfield Lions Club, Beverly Spoonmore, Sheila Mussolino, and McKay Giamroni, Helen Bowling, State of Indiana, Wabash Valley Correctional Facility, Ken's Barber Shop. Those were all, there were some previous donors too, but all those helped with that trip and donating to ROTC. Thank you very much. And in memory of Rick Hudson, Roger and Deborah Bollinger, in memory of Andy Shelton, and to the boys and girls basketball, Amber Brandstetter, Bob and Michelle Richardson, Judy Brandstetter, Lisa and Dave Horning, Rex and Shirley Hudson, Byron and Jones and family, and Darren and Lori Birch. Thank you for the donations in memory of those individuals who passed. And that is it for the consent agendas. Is there any questions on any of those?
I'll do the same from that vote on Kevin.
Okay, yes. Yeah, so we'll pull Kevin McIntosh for middle school softball out for a separate vote. So the consent agenda minus that one, do I have a motion?
A motion to approve.
Okay, and do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor? All right, thank you. And now for Kevin McIntosh as middle school softball coach. Do I have a motion?
I'll motion to approve it.
Okay, and do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? All right, thank you. And now for other business.
Other business, this is a vote for the student appeal 02172022.
Okay, the board will vote to either approve or deny the student appeal that was presented to the board in executive session on February 17th, 2022. And do I have a motion?
I move we approve.
And do I have a second?
A second.
And we'll keep clarify, yes, clarify.
Yeah, well, I'm just making a motion to approve this, see if it,
Approve the appeal of it going on the record or not?
The way it's worded.
Yeah. Okay, let me reword it then, because I read it out here. So the board will vote to approve the student appeal that was presented to the board in executive session on February 17, 2022. So do I have a motion?
if we don't have a motion and second, there can't be discussion, correct?
Correct.
So I make a motion that we approve.
Okay, and do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All right, is there any questions or comments?
Well, yeah, I just want to make a comment. I mean, I believe that the discipline that was handed out was appropriate for our student handbook. I do want to point out also that I think that there were some mistakes that were made in the appeals process on the school's end that need to be lined out and clarified for the future. But all that being said, I don't feel like that the appeals process changes the fact that the discipline that was handed out followed the guidelines of the student handbook.
Sure. Any other comments?
I'm gonna be honest, I struggled. I lost a lot of sleep. I read through everything that was sent to us. I've made notes, pages of notes. And it comes down to, for me, when the student made the choice to not to go against what the coach stated, the coach still gave the opportunity for the student to make it right. And at that point, it was still chosen not to. And that for me was the factor of what my thought is, that the 3-game suspension was appropriate, and that, you know, it would remain on the student's record for the athletic record. So we've had other issues, you know, in the past that students have been disciplined. And while the punishment may not have seemed as severe, but it went with the guidelines that we offer, that's offered to us, it's still on those students' records. And so that's kind of where I'm at. So like I said, it was not, I didn't like any of this one bit, to be honest, so.
Okay,
I want to say something too. I feel like the whole situation in general was just handled very poorly. I feel like there's a lot of miscommunication on several different parties. And it's disappointing that we came to this situation at all. I feel like I agree with Harry that there was a mistake made by the student. I also agree there were mistakes made by the administration and the coach. And I feel like had things been handled differently, then we never would have come to this point. And Malia is a very disciplined student, hard worker, and from what I hear, Sarah is a wonderful coach. And I just think that if the situation would have been handled differently, the outcome would have been different, and we wouldn't be in this predicament. I feel like Malia was brought to a point where she felt like she didn't have any other choice because no one was listening. And that's just my opinion. That's what I'm seeing through the discussion. And I feel like if people were listening to our students and taking them seriously and thinking about their situation and their needs, and maybe that wasn't communicated properly. That's possible too, but I feel like if things were communicated better, then we wouldn't have had the Malia standing up for herself.
Any other comments? Okay, those in favor to approve the appeal? Raise your hand.
Motion to approve. Approve.
And those against? All right, thank you. The 21st century update.
Yeah, Lindsay's still in here to present about 20% update.
For the 21st Century CCLC program, it's a STEM and STEAM after-school program offered K through 12 here at the school. I am co-director along with Rachel Pace. I'm also the middle school, high school site coordinator and teacher of that particular group. Overall program, all reports are current and up to date. We are looking good on our budget till the end of the year. We also had our summer program and budget okayed, so we will have our CCLC for the summer ready. We have been invited to the National Conference on Science Education in Houston, Texas, March 31st through April 2nd. Dr. Adam Scribner at IU is facilitating this for us. There will be about 5 of us that will go. So we are in the works of getting everything purchased for that. We do have a professional development fund with our grant that hasn't been touched in 2 years, and that is what is covering this particular trip. Andrew Woodard from the IU Mobile Makery came and set up our 3D printer. So now our group has our 3D printer up and running. Gave us training last Friday on that. Chelsea Bolin was also hired as onto the directors committee in the fall, but due to circumstances, she felt it better that she stepped down. So like I said, Rachel Pace and I are still working on that together. The STEAM Fair is coming up March 10th. It will be held in the Glover balcony. Aaron's Purpose is helping us purchase our awards for that, so we thank you. Our grant ends at the end of this year, but LIFT is picking us up for next year. So we will be covered under LIFT for next year. The elementary program, some notable things. We were trained on novel engineering. So they have been working with the Bloomfield Public Library, and Tia Collison has partnered with them through that on novel engineering. The older kids read through the Boxcar Children and then went outside and engineered dams similar to what the children in the book engineered. The K2 group did novel engineering as well with Magic Treehouse series, studying dinosaurs, and when they got done, they actually dug up fossils. We got our Star Lab out and had it set up on the Glover stage for a time, and the students absolutely loved that. So we have our own Star Lab now that is usable and I think simple to set up. It's pretty heavy, but simple to set up. Just this week, I sent out an invite because through our program, we have a lot of equipment and experiments, hands-on stuff. So I've sent out an email. I'm still working on an overall inventory. But to all staff for the school, that if they want to use or borrow our equipment, experiments, whatnot, all they got to do is get with us, make sure it's not scheduled, and there is a sign-up sheet for that. So Star Lab is open, our 3D printer, heat press Cricut, 3D goggles, anything that I can put on that list. The school will have free reign to use for that. My students actually honored the memory of Mont McIntosh this last week. If you were a student here during my time period, you might have had him in his shop class or CAD class. I had him for CAD, but we did mousetrap cars. So I thought that was pretty neat, especially since a lot of the students, obviously right now, didn't have him. So this was an eye-opener for them. This was actually the mousetrap car that went the farthest. One of my students actually beat me. But I was pretty proud. That was a very proud teacher moment. We've also completed lessons on electricity, circuits, and switches. And we are currently working on paddle boats. And then we are going to move to kinetic sculptures and mobiles inspired by Alexander Calder through the ice steam training that I just mentioned.
Thank you. And then also, transportation update.
Yeah, we have our new transportation director, Jonas Johnson, to give us an update on transportation.
Most of you probably don't know that we have 15 drivers and buses run every day. They're traveling 537 students on these buses every day. 769.1 miles and 26 hours to do it in, combined all together. That's not including field trips, athletic trips, anything else that comes up in between. We got these little white buses running. People's like, what do they do? They're on the road. They're traveling, little students, 6:30 in the morning. They're loading them up, getting ready to go to preschool in Worthington. They come back. They come pick up other students. They take them to Linton. They come back. They pick up other students at their house, bring them here. Then they drop them off, pick up other students, take them out to other places to go all day long. Most of the time they don't get down until about 12:30, 1:45, because they're on the move. We have the CCLC program after school. They're running until 6:15 probably at night. So that's about 12 hours a day these minibuses are running. And we've had 3 bus drivers been in the hospital this last month. We had 2 deaths that the drivers had to be off for this past month. And every driver stepped up to the plate and helped make sure these kids get in and out of school. And that's something you can't try. They didn't have to raise them, they just did. And we need to be proud of these drivers.
Thank you.
Any questions?
No questions, but I would like to personally thank you because you guys have driven my kids and I know sometimes they don't behave. And, you called me.
Sure.
I'm Woody, I know, you called me. But yet you guys have made sure that when my kids get dropped off, if there's a vehicle in the driveway you don't recognize, you're on the phone calling me saying, is this person supposed to be at the house? Can I let the kids off? You guys are the ones that are texting in advance to say, hey, we're running late because this happened up the road. You guys make sure our kids leave our house and get back every day safely. You do things over and above to make sure they're safe and warm on the bus. If they're forgetting their jackets, you get on them. You treat them like they are part of your family. And there is nothing more priceless than that. from a parent's perspective, I thank you so much for taking care of my kids like you do. Thank you.
And I wanted to say a couple of things too. With all that's happened, I've had to dive in more with transportation this year than I've had to in the past. And we had a couple bus drivers resign, and it was kind of an emergency because we needed to get the kids to and from the next day. And we had Keith and Charlie, we had Wendy, we had Jessica, we had Jonas, Lana was in there. And I wish, I've commented a couple times, I wish I would have taken a picture or a video. It was the ultimate critical thinking, problem solving, teamwork, and I can't remember how long we met it. It was over an hour or maybe 2 hours that we were just figuring out, okay, we got 2 bus routes that we don't know how we're gonna fill them tomorrow. And they worked together, and you know, Charlie said, I'll pick up these, and you know, who's the best person to take the route, and we all decided together, this is how we're gonna get it covered. And we're still in process of trying to fill those routes with bus drivers. As you know, unless you've been under a rock, there's a bus driver shortage. So we don't have subs right now. So they've had to work together when someone's out to combine routes and share. And that was, I mean, it was just an ultimate, you know, we talk about developing critical thinking, problem solving, and teamwork with our kids. Our adults, our bus drivers just did that to the max that day. It was neat to see.
I'd like to add to that too. I started in central office in 2018 in the fall. I've worked in transportation in different roles over the last 4 years, and it's been a blessing to work with all of y'all. And I have to say, this past year, we've probably had the most trials than all the last 4. But we've all come together and really worked hard, as Dr. Lehman has expressed. And I thank you, not only for getting our kids to and from school safely every day, that's a given, but the level of teamwork that y'all pitched in does not go unnoticed. Thank you.
So something kind of funny. I was joking to my husband. I was like, I ought to sub drive. And he's like, and I had to rent a car. wait till you hear this. So I had to rent a car, and we drove it to Indianapolis. And I'm an idiot. We were driving, and I told my husband, I said, that is the cutest thing. It comes up and tells me I should get coffee. There's a light that blinks and it says you should get coffee. And I'm like, that is the cutest thing. We should definitely get coffee. Turns out it tells you that when you swerve too much. No joke. I asked them when I turned the car, I was like, what is that? And they're like, you're swerving too much. It's telling you to wake up.
Terry, I don't know which is worse, the fact that it was doing it, or you just admitted it's air.
I was like, maybe I shouldn't drive a bus after all. I don't know if it's still working or not. I didn't know.
Any other comments or?
I don't want Terry to drive.
All right, superintendent's report.
Yeah, just a few things here. I almost hate to bring it up, but COVID, just want to say, you know, we're done with the quarantine requirements. It's going to symptomatic, asymptomatic, and we don't asymptomatic. We no longer have to contact trace. Our cases right now in quarantine are 2 and 6, so they've stayed down. We hope we can move forward, and there's no, you know, further issues, and we can kind of carry on life more normal. We're hopefully all excited about that. The ADM counts, we had that in here in February. ADM is our average daily membership. It's our student enrollment, which a lot of student funding is based on student enrollment. So I'm going to compare our fall 2020 with our fall 2021. We were 796 this fall. We were 819. That's plus 23. And last spring we were 797, and this spring we're 813, which was up 16. So we had several years of decline, and so this is the first year in quite a while that it's been an increase, and we hope that continues that direction, because that helps get teachers to get raises and fund what we do here at school. All workers. 3 early graduates were part of that. Kaylee, I was part of the decline on that, but that for very good reason. They were early grads. Kaylee Brewer, Elizabeth Weddle, and Austin Evans. I want to congratulate those 3 early graduates at the semester. I was going to talk about the ROTC trip and fundraising summary, but Dave did a good job with that. And the construction progress. If anybody's interested, so I really had not gone in there. You've seen it go up and everything, but it's really starting to come together out there. The offices, they're all, the framing is up. And if you go in the multi-purpose area, it's just starting to develop. It was neat to go in there with the construction workers, with our contractors and our architects, and we had to talk about, where we're putting, make sure the power is where it's supposed to be, and the drops for internet and everything. And I hadn't been in there, and I don't think I've been there in there yet, and I was just surprised. It's really coming together quite well, and it's on track to be done on time, and it's on budget. And sometimes I want to knock on wood with all that stuff, but that's the way it is now. So we're excited about that. That things are going well with construction. And then I just wanted to comment. One of our business teachers, Tabitha Burton, had the students make minute to win it games. They couldn't use ones that were previously made, and she invited Mr. Dean and myself to come to try out these minute to win it games and compete against the students. One of them that I did was I put a shower cap on, and they put shaving cream on the shower cap, and then my partner, and we were going against another group, took cheese balls and to see how many they could stick in our head. All right, and so I've never played that game before. My partner and I won 13-12, not to brag. Dave came the next, and this one, you with your partner, Dave was my partner, we wheelbarrow, so I had his legs, which are heavy. And he struggled a little bit with moving like the wheelbarrow, but it was whipped cream.
Demonstrate.
Well, Tabitha took pictures, and there's a video, and she was gonna send it to me today, and I was gonna put it up there. It's probably good. It didn't happen though, because she wasn't school day, so she didn't get those pictures. So I had Dave, and we did not win this one. Anyways, it was whipped cream and gummy bears, and it was in a bowl. And our excuse was our bowl was a little higher, and he couldn't get his mouth in there. So he had to dig his head in that whipped cream, and only got one out. And he was so exhausted after one trip down on the place, we just kind of so it was humorous. We were laughing, but that was a neat, we're getting creative students, a good activity with Minute to Win It. And I think we're going to do some of those team building activities with our staff this Friday as well. So that's my report. There's obviously a million things going on, but those are the highlights.
Okay, thank you. And is there any board member comments and items for future agendas at this time?
Am I wrong in thinking, like, the first year that we were on the board, so it would have been 3 years ago, when they had that museum, did we have the students come in for that? Some of them did? I miss it every year. We should do that again. Either, it's the first,
On the
right?
March,
It's the first, right? It's when I have a meeting that night.
You can go during the day, maybe.
we get a couple.
They had just a couple that night. I thought we did.
We did. Yep.
Like dresses the character and the should be.
Any other comments?
Well, I like
I can't remember.
Okay. So future meetings, our regular scheduled board meeting, March the 31st and April the 28th at 7 PM. And due to the construction, these meetings will either be held in the middle school, high school cafeteria or the Glover Gym stage. But details will be provided before the meeting because a lot of things are gonna get moving here.
Yeah, they're going to start construction here, so this will be all tore up.
Yeah, so we will make an announcement where exactly the meeting will be, but yeah, for the next few months, we'll be in transition, so. Yeah, all right, and this meeting is adjourned, thank you.